Do you wish you could get virtual attendees to turn their cameras on? Is engagement the number one issue on your virtual meetings? Do you want your meeting to be the most engaging virtual meeting? Well, welcome to the Engaging Virtual Meetings podcast. In this podcast, we'll talk to the top people around the world in virtual meetings and give you, the listener, the best ideas to host engaging virtual meetings. Make sure that you click subscribe so you can get the latest episode of the Engaging Virtual Meetings podcast. Now, let's welcome your host, the author of the #1 Amazon hot new release, Engaging Virtual Meetings, John Chen. All right, this is John Chen with another edition of the Engaging Virtual Meeting podcast. You should know the drill by now, but if you don't, or you're on social media, make sure and share, subscribe, like, comment, do all the things, push some buttons. If you want to subscribe to this podcast, go to engagingvirtualmeetings.online and subscribe on one of your 13, not 12, not 14, 13 podcast platforms, your favorite places to get them. And if you haven't got your ticket yet, go get it. I gave you one for free. And then you have our paid VIP and our amazing in-person for the first time at the Engaging Conference. We will be running hybrid out of Seattle. Go to engagingvirtualmeetings.com/con for your ticket now. Today, oh man, we are so excited for today. We got an amazing guest. I got a chance to meet him at the Georgia Healthcare Association's conference. He was a keynote. And I got to tell you, I'm a member of National Speakers Association. Watch out, speakers. You gotta meet this guy because he got so many comments. People were talking about him. He was also presenting both in person and virtually at the same time. He was running hybrid, and people said that even when they were watching virtually, they could feel this guy. He's a keynote speaker, the CEO of Game Changer Coaching. He's one of Georgia's 40 under 40. Let's welcome to the stage the one and only Rennie Curran.
Hello.
Rennie, what's going on, man?
Doing great, John. Thanks so much for having me on. Love your setup, man, everything that you're doing. And I'm excited to be on.
Well, I'm happy to elevate, and happy Black History Month to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Lots to celebrate.
So let's get into it, Rennie. You know, for my friends who don't know you yet, take a moment, say who you are and what you do.
Yeah, so my day-to-day, I am a full-time keynote speaker, author, and then I am the CEO of Game Changer Coaching. And the topics I speak on is leadership, teamwork, and high performance. I love working with companies, associations, delivering those powerful keynotes, delivering workshops. And then on the coaching side, I work typically with high-performing business leaders and then also entrepreneurs, helping them with anything from goal setting, personal branding, and public speaking as well. So my past life, though, most people, as you can see in the background, know me from my days at University of Georgia and in the NFL and CFL, knocking heads as a linebacker. So that's where it all started. And in a crazy way, it led me to this road of public speaking and being a full-time entrepreneur, man. But I love being able to take the world of sports and bring it into the world of business. There's so many transferables and so many things that I try to do to really help people reach their fullest potential. So yeah, that's a little bit about me in a nutshell.
There we go. Yeah, go Bulldogs, right? Did I get the right one? Bulldogs. So
Oh,
where did the genesis for football come in your youth? What day did you know, like, I'm gonna be a player?
yeah, it really all started, man, when we moved to Gwinnett, which is about 45 minutes from Atlanta, for those of you all who are watching and aren't here in Georgia. And that's where I met my first Little League coach, who was kind of like, if you ever watch Rocky, most of us have, he was like my Mickey. So he was my big motivator, the guy. He just always kept me in check. Took me to my first University of Georgia game at the age of 10 years old. And that's
Oh,
when the vision and the dream really started, when I was in that stadium and just looking down into that crowd of 90,000 people and just being overwhelmed with the environment and the culture, man. So I was really the first person in my family to do it. Both my parents are from Liberia, knew absolutely nothing about sports or football. They just thought it was a bunch of people hitting each other. So that's where it started, man. It was a long shot, but it came true.
so are you like first, second, or third generation? I'm a third generation. Like my grandparents on both sides, mom and dad, were the first to come to America. What generation are you?
I'm first generation. Yeah.
Oh, so your parents came
Yeah.
from Liberia here, and
Yeah.
then were you born here or were you born in Liberia?
Yeah, I was born here. There was a civil war that took place in Liberia the year that I was, or right
Oh,
before I was about to be born. So yeah, everybody was getting out and ended up
woo.
being born in America. Yeah, it's a crazy story.
Wow. Well, yeah, immigration is a big topic I'll talk about. One day I'll tell you a story called Paper Son about how my
Yeah.
grandfather got to this country. But today's about you. So let's then talk about not every athlete makes it from sports to business. You know what I mean? Like
Oh
sometimes
yeah,
they're great at sports and they're terrible business people. But
yeah.
you made that transition. What were some of the ways, or did you have another, business Mickey that really kind of helped you out there?
Definitely had lots of business Mickeys. I would never be on any platform, saying that it's all on me. I'm a one-man team or anything like that. A lot of the same things that really helped me with football and being a good linebacker, good teammate, are a lot of the same principles that I leveraged to help me as a speaker. And it really started while I was playing. I didn't even know I was developing the skill of public speaking and presenting as an athlete. But a lot of times after those big games, I would be asked to do post-game interviews. I would be
Oh,
asked give a pregame speech. I'll be
oh.
able to speak to a little league team. So I was developing that skill without even really knowing it. But when it came to the business side, that's when I had to go back to the fundamentals and really get those mentors, really study the game. Looking at other speakers, looking at other people from anything from their website to their social media to, just really getting an understanding, read tons of books, went to tons of workshops, stood in
Mm,
the back of a lot of rooms,
mm.
really, really did the work, man, to not only learn but get my feet working, feet wet, and start small. That's another thing. I mean, I would drive anywhere from, small town in Georgia, one street light towns to anywhere that would basically allow me to speak, man, and it
Yeah.
just went from there, man. So those are some of the things that I did.
Speak. It's like being wanting to be a player. There's a whole gigantic step from being in the stands to being on the field, and
Yeah.
speaking is exactly the same way. It is a big leap to be in the back of the room, to be in the front of the room, and to be in the front of the room and like be great, have people like you want to come back. And I was just laughing. I was just thinking. You reminded me of Talladega Nights. When he does the post game interview and he's like, "Well, like no, and could you get your hand away from the mic? Well, and so there's some people who don't have it, right? And obviously, I guess your coach might have saw that you have it. Who got you into that world of speaking? Was it that post game interview, or were there some other people that got you into the business side of speaking?
No, actually, man, crazy story, but it was actually my high school counselor. So
What? What? What?
yeah, crazy. I
Do you have a name? Can you share the name?
So her name is Miss Settles, and
Oh,
what she didn't realize at that time was that she was creating a platform for me to do this without her even knowing it. I don't even think she realized she was kind of the part of the start of that, of me realizing that I had an impact, that I could be a leader. And this was, like I said, in high school. I'm starting it, my name's starting to get out there. Georgia had just offered me. 16 years old, and she had me serve as a peer leader, which meant that during lunchtime I would go and sit with the kids who had nobody else to sit with and just talk to them. And then I would also sometimes during lunch I would go to elementary school and I would do book readings and speak to them. And
oh,
so, just getting those reps, man, and understanding that, man, my voice actually has an impact. It
mm,
changed my perspective on myself and then what I can do in terms of messaging. And then another thing that happened during that time, my whole recruiting process, my whole career, I was labeled undersized. And so a big part of my story was overcoming adversity, was, somebody who was known in my community as that kid who wasn't tall enough, who didn't necessarily come from a lot, but was still able to overcome. And so that became my platform to share with younger athletes that, hey, or younger students, younger athletes, whoever, that, hey, if you have a dream, if you have a goal, you have something you want to accomplish, man, don't worry about, your stature. Don't worry about the naysayers. Just
mm.
go out there and get it. So that's really what started that whole journey of speaking and grew from there.
Well, I just want to give a shout out. Speak about making an impact. You're making an impact on Just Chillin' 2009 on the K Network is actually watching us live. So thank you so much for
Oh,
chatting
that's
along with us. Rennie, what do you think? has to happen for you as either as a speaker or like coach to their players to really engage their players, right? You've seen some coaches and they'll tell them hit harder, and it really, that's just like, work faster. It doesn't really connect. So I'm kind of curious, what are some of the things either you do or some of your coaches done that really, really engaged you in the game?
Number one is authenticity. Like you can't get up there and try to
Mhm.
be fake, try to, act like something that you're not. The coaches that and the speakers, whoever that have really hit that heart, it's like they weren't always saying things the perfect way. They didn't always have the best execution, but you felt their energy, you felt their soul. Like you knew that what they were saying, it meant something to them and that they were genuinely there for you. Like it wasn't them trying to put up a front. It wasn't them trying to say all the right words or, just get through the next motion or the next gig or whatever the case may be. But it was them genuinely speaking from their heart and from their soul and from everything in them, from their experience. And you could hear it. It's like you could hear it in their voice, right?
Mm.
And it's just so off. That authenticity just hits you different. And so that's something that I try to do, man. Even if it's an audience that I'm not used to. Like I spoke to court administrators one time, and it's like I have nothing nothing in common with them. I mean, they're behind desks, they do all the paperwork, and I'm trying to bring my best. But I really, really believe in authenticity. I really believe in that sincerity, really being up there and putting out that energy and that intention that, hey, I'm here for you. I love you. I want to see you succeed. I want to see you reach that next level in your life, man. And that always shines through. Like I said, even if your execution isn't the best, if you can nail that, man, that energy is a huge part to play in it.
Wow. But shout out to my good friend Frank Love. He's a relationship speaker, and he
Mhm.
has an opening line that sounds like, I love you, right? I love you like a brother, right? I might be your brother. I may not have met you, but, but I
Yeah.
want to help you. And that's how he opens it up.
Mhm.
And
I
you
love
can't
that.
just say the words, Rennie. I mean, like, how does somebody work on themselves? Because you can say the words, but the audience knows.
Oh yeah, that's it. They
Your
can feel it.
players know, right? This coach is full of, right, crap.
Right. Full of, yeah, full of ish. Yeah,
So how do you
exactly.
work? How does Rennie work on his authenticity?
So you gotta work on yourself, man. You gotta know your truth. You gotta know what your convictions are, not just what you're confident in, but what your convictions are. And I look at it like, man, if somebody put a gun to your head and said, like, what do you believe in? What are you willing to die for? That thing that you could just quote, that message that's in your heart, in your soul, that message that would be the last thing that you would say before you leave this earth. That thing that you have no hesitation about. That if you can share that with authenticity and you can know that like the back of your hand, it's gonna shine through. And when you're doing it, like I said, for the right reasons with the right intentions,
Mm,
that's what starts for me. So before I start every speech, man, I really try to get the chance to take the time to know my audience, to know like what's keeping them up at night? What are their goals? What are their aspirations?
yeah.
What do they hope if they had the chance to be up there and speak to that audience? What are some of the things that they would share with them? So I really try to get inside their mind, get inside their head, and like and be a spokesperson for them because that's really what we are as speakers, man. And so when you can execute on some of those things, it really helps to shine through and really form that agreement before you even start that message to let the audience know that, hey, I'm here for you. I'm not just here to do a performance.
Yeah, this speaking is kind of one in the pregame, so I feel your
Mhm.
sports sense. You if you
Oh
really
yeah.
want to win a game, you got to prepare, you got to know your enemy or know your opponent or whatever it is. And so it's kind of the same thing, although it's not quite a fight, it's more collaborative, I think. That's what's kind of
Yeah.
fun about it.
Oh,
Uh,
it's the exact same thing. I mean, I that's one of the things that I love about speaking is just so much of it is similar to when I played the game. And the
yeah.
best games I had were the games where I studied the film like crazy and I got out there and I looked out, at that offense and I knew exactly what they were about to do. I knew their body language, I knew their tendencies, I knew their patterns. And so I was playing that. I could anticipate that much more just because of the work that I'd done beforehand and just the visualization that I'd done, the reps that I'd gotten in, the intentional practice I had done, all those things, man. And then, even afterwards, like one of the things I love about speaking that's very similar to sports is I get my film and I watch myself, I review, right? I reflect, I get that feedback. And no matter how good you get, man, there's always something. In football, it was the same thing for me as a linebacker. I have my coach every day. Like not just one day, but every single day. I'm sitting there in the film room with him, and we're going through that film. Sometimes he's running it back 3, 4 times. He's saying,
Yeah,
"Hey, you see this?" I
yeah,
try to do the same thing as a speaker, just
yeah.
just looking at what are the little nuances and the little things that I can do and adjust. And I'm watching other speakers. I'm like, okay, I love how you inflected his voice right here. I love how you brought in this principle at this time, or I
Yeah.
love how he engages his audience. Just so many things that you can learn. It's endless and it's exciting.
Well, we might as well. I gotta. You. I'm assuming you watch the Super Bowl.
Of course, yeah, of course.
So give me your short analysis on this year's game
My
from
short
Rennie's point of
analysis
view.
was that I was tired of seeing Taylor Swift. That's my short analysis.
She
That's
got more airtime than all of us put
exactly. I'm
together.
like, are we
Ready?
here to watch the game or are we here to watch Taylor Swift? But
You
that's
know
that's
what? I would have gone the other way though, Rennie, because you've heard some of the numbers. Like she's added 5 million fans to the Kansas City Chiefs.
yeah.
You know
I,
what? Forget it. Just put her in the small window, kind of like when Zoom when you share your screen. Like put the Taylor cam up there and just let
all
it
right,
run.
all right,
Fine.
exactly. Catch
We
every
give up.
reaction.
Yeah.
All that.
It was
Yeah.
engaging, right? For certain audiences, that was
Oh yeah.
really engaging. All right. Speaking of engaging, Rennie, you probably had to do clock a few virtual speeches in the last 3 or 4 years.
Yes.
What did you do to prepare for that game, that virtual game? I mean, talk about playing on somebody else's field.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a different field.
It is a very different field, and it was one of the toughest things at first because I'm used to feeling, like I mentioned, the energy and whatnot. I'm used to feeling the audience's energy. I'm used to seeing the laughs and being able to, smack hands and bring people up and get folks excited out of their comfort zone. And just it was different. So I had to find ways to implement that same engagement and that same energy and that same feel through the virtual space. And it took time. Like a couple of them, I saw nothing. I could see nobody. It was just my camera, and I'm just talking to the camera. A couple of them I recorded a video that was shown later, so I didn't even know what the response was. But eventually, I learned how to implement it. And one of the things that I loved doing was setting the tone at the
Mm,
beginning. Yeah, I feel like as a speaker, when you're speaking virtually, like setting the space, setting the environment, like even though it's virtual, you can still create a space where people feel safe. People feel like they're able to share. People feel like they can get excited and bring that energy. So I let them know, hey, we got some ground rules. Hey, this number one, this is a safe space
mm,
for everybody to feel welcome to contribute. I realize that a lot of companies, a lot of organizations, many times the employees, the people there, they don't get the chance to share. They don't have that, and there's not that inclusiveness. So I try to create that space where they're empowered. And then the second thing, and the last thing, most important thing, I tell them is, hey, bring that energy. I want to feel your energy through the screen. Don't be afraid to share. And I even open it up. One thing I did start doing was the popcorn method. So I'll give somebody the opportunity to share, but then they get the chance to call on somebody else.
yeah. Oh, yes. It's one of my favorite. And the
Yeah,
reason why is it because it takes the pressure off of you being the
exactly.
selector,
Yep.
right? That you give the control to the audience. And so, kind of like in the player part,
Yeah.
every player wants a little piece of that
Yeah.
control or action or something. And so, when you do that, it also then the recipient again doesn't feel like they're getting picked on by the teacher. They know it was somebody else, and with it, some people have fun with it too, and they go around and like, oh, I get to pick somebody. Oh, I'm really gonna pick on. And now it becomes something really fun.
Oh yeah, exactly, exactly. And another thing I love about it is it keeps everybody locked in and engaged. You don't know if you're going to be called on or not, or what's going to happen next. So it's definitely a fun thing that keeps everybody, moving forward and gives people a chance to connect as well. People who normally wouldn't connect, and that's one of the things I try to throw in there is, hey, call on somebody you don't normally talk to, or somebody who you know
Yeah.
you wouldn't engage with. So it's another opportunity to build that connection and camaraderie as well.
Well, this is the backwards part here, Rennie. I just thought I'd help you out. Let's run the whole interview like this. Just messing
Oh,
with you. So that
right.
was the past. Let's go to the future. What
Yeah,
does Rennie Curran see for the future of virtual and hybrid? Because literally, you saw like the Super Bowl technically is a hybrid event.
true, true, very true.
It is one
Man,
of
I
the world's
appreciate that.
biggest and best hybrid events. So what does Rennie Curran see in the future?
I really believe that, with what you're doing with the hybrid events and just that engagement, whether you're in person, whether you're at home, whether you're in the office, there's going to continue to be a large appetite for that. Just immersing everybody, regardless of where they are, in those making them feel like they're in that event. And up to the point I see the ability for the virtual piece, the what is it called? One of my friends does it, where you can basically augmented reality.
Oh yeah, augmented reality. Yeah, the new Apple headset. I missed my demo this week. I was going to get a demo of the headset and something ran long, so I got to reschedule.
Yeah, I can definitely see that being more of a norm in the future where you put on some glasses and it's like you're in the room even though you're not. You can be right in the crowd or you can be up on stage right behind the speaker on the side and just yeah, I can see that being something that becomes a norm in the future as well.
And you imagine too, again, players, teams, other types of things, right? You can have
Oh,
a game where everybody is around the world, but you could work together and play football or play a game or something like that and
yeah.
get into it. So yeah, if you haven't seen Ready Player One, that's probably the latest movie version of what the world could be, right? Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. All right, Rennie. Well, Rennie, we got one last thing. Rennie, if you could get people to remember one thing from this interview, what would that one thing be?
To bring that energy, that authenticity, set your intentions. That's the biggest thing I want you to remember. If you're watching this video, if you're a speaker out there, or you're just starting, you're just thinking about it, if you can go in with authenticity, letting people know what you stand for, what you believe in, you're always going to be successful and you're always going to be able to build from there.
Outstanding. Thank you so much, Rennie Curran, for your time.
Thank you, John. Appreciate you.
All right, we just finished another engaging virtual meetings podcast with the one and only Rennie Curran. He says, authenticity. How are you going to get people to feel you? And you can't fake it, people. Authenticity is about you, the real you, right? It's not the stuttering you. It's not the things you think other people want to say. It's the thing you say. So, anyways, if you're here on social media, make sure you subscribe, share, like, and comment if you want more of this. Thanks again to our good friend here, Just Chillin' 2009, who is watching live with us. If you want this podcast live, engagingvirtualmeetings.online, new episode every Wednesday. Please subscribe or please register for my conference, October 1, 2, and 3. We're going hybrid, right? It's going to be the Super Bowl of engagement, 150 people live, up to 500 on Zoom, and an infinite YouTube and live streaming audience. And last of all, hey, you want to be Rennie? Go to engagingvirtualmeetings.com/meet, a select interview, and you could be the next Rennie Curran. I'm John Chen, Engaging Virtual Meetings Podcast, and we'll see you next time. This is John Chen, the author of the Amazon #1 hot new release, Engaging Virtual Meetings. I personally want to say thank you for listening to the Engaging Virtual Meetings podcast. It is my passion to help you eliminate bad virtual meetings. Make sure that you click subscribe so that you can get the latest episode of the Engaging Virtual Meetings podcast with all of the latest ideas. Hey, I want to meet you. If you want to talk about a virtual meeting challenge, or if you want to be the next guest on the Engaging Virtual Meetings podcast, just go to engagingvirtualmeetings.com/meet. That's engagingvirtualmeetings.com/meet, MEET, and find your best time to meet up. Thank you, and I look forward to engaging with you online.